is the Texas weather discussion video for Thursday, the 21st day of September. I'm Donovan Neal. Once again, a very hot day for Texas is in place today, but for now, but by early next week, their confidence is increasing that we could see a significant cold front that will bring temperatures down significantly, and also it may include some rain chances along with that. In the tropics are, of course, very active as always. Let's take a look at the water vapor satellite view across the continental United States. Main feature here in North Texas is this upper ridge that's affecting us right now. There were some thunderstorms to the south, to the northwest of us. This actually last afternoon and evening, but those have quickly dissipated due to the upper ridge. There's a cold trough in the western states that's bringing potential rain and some snow in some areas, but the temperature at 5:21 here, Arlington 79, DFW 81, mostly in the upper 70s to low 80s, and I think we should warm up to the mid 90s once again today, but the heat index values could get into the triple digits once again today, and I think that'll stay the same for Friday as well. We could actually trend a bit cooler a little bit by Friday. Watch warning map. Things are actually pretty quiet. We actually have some fire weather issues for parts of the western plains here. Other than that, things are quiet. On the convective outlooks, we have a marginal risk for severe storms for parts of the north, and on day 2 we have the standard risk for Minnesota down into the Dakotas. Notice how the southern 2/3 of the state is in green, which means risk for thunderstorms, but no organized severe weather is expected. And on day 3, pretty much the same thing. If you're in the green, that means you have a risk for thunderstorms, but no organized severe weather is expected. Average rain for the next 7 days, valid through Thursday of next week. And for North Texas, amounts are starting to come up, which I really like. This is suggesting about an inch or an inch and a quarter of rain for parts of North Texas. And that's obviously going to come with the cold front coming through early next week. But the tropics, let's talk about them. Let's talk about it. We have Maria Jose, and we have this wave, and we have this tropical low, or a wave that used to be Tropical Storm Lee. That's dissipated into an open wave, and this one should not develop. This one's an open Atlantic and should ultimately not develop. But if this somehow does develop, this should ultimately stay to the north and should not pose a threat to land at all. But how's Jose doing? Jose is basically still a tropical storm, but it's basically stalled near Cape Cod. Maximum sustained winds are still at 60 miles an hour. This storm is still going, and it's still enough to warrant a tropical storm warning for Cape Cod and the surrounding areas. And by Sunday afternoon, this should lose its tropical characteristics and become post-tropical cyclone. And there's still some questions whether or not this storm will actually break the subtropical ridge here, which will allow Maria to escape, and not affect the East Coast. But speaking of that, let's take a look at the model guidance here. Some models keep this. Some models try to bring this out into the United States again, and some models actually keep this into the Atlantic, basically in one place, and dissipate this. But the GFS ensemble guidance, the 21 members here, most members kind of dissipate this before going into the United States. Even the mean, which is the black line the black line, dissipates this before getting into the United States. So bottom line is, if this does go into the United States, this shouldn't be a significant threat to life or property. So let's take a look at Maria. This has actually lost its momentum since it came through Puerto Rico yesterday morning. Let's take a look at the GOES 16 view of this, and there have been talks of this being a potential eye wall replacement or an eye replacement here. Maximum sustained winds are now 115 miles an hour. This is still a Category 3 major hurricane moving northwest at 9 miles an hour, and this is expected to gain latitude after today and may impact the Turks and Caicos Island, or just stay to the east of there. Yeah, this may ultimately stay to the east of there and may follow the same track between the Bermuda and the East Coast. It should stay in between there, but the model guidance actually takes us well to the east of the East Coast, which is obviously a good thing because this won't be an impact to land at all. And the GFS ensemble basically says the same thing, that this will just stay well to the east of the East Coast. All 21 members, including the mean, are in agreement with this. And the European on this thing, this actually only shows a 4% chance of showing that this is showing that this will only have a 4% chance of getting back into the United States. And if for some reason this does get to the United States, it's most likely peaked at its intensity now. So after the past the 5-day period, this should either be a minimal hurricane or a tropical storm by the time it's to the east of the East Coast. But a lot of uncertainty here. We'll know once this passes Florida. So let's go to the dailies here. This is the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid today at 1 o'clock. We still have a cold trough in the northwest. We have some ridging here. Still have some ridging here. Down below that, it looks like a quiet day. Again, highs in the mid 90s. We could see heat index values back into the triple digits once again today. Let's go to Friday, but football day, for high school football day actually. Partly cloudy, very warm. We still trend dry with highs in the low 90s. We could be on a cooling trend here. This is the weekend on Saturday. Same thing, same consistent forecast on Saturday and on Sunday. And now this is Monday of next week. Yes, this is Monday of next week, and we could actually see highs basically in the upper 80s as the cold front nears our area, and Maria is basically way to the east of the East Coast, basically a few hundred miles, and this is the European on the same day, and the agreement could not be any better than this. So basically, the bottom line is, if you're in the East Coast, you probably don't have to worry about this tropical system. Tuesday, a cold front makes its way towards here. We could see a potential for scattered showers and storms during the afternoon and evening hours on Tuesday, as the cold front is basically in our area. Wednesday, same thing. We could see a few showers and storms in association with the cold front here. Here's a week from today, Thursday, the 28th day of September. Looks like a trough trying to develop in the west, and down below that, we could see scattered to perhaps even numerous showers and storms if this verified. Again, other than that, mostly sunny with highs in the mid 80s. And this is the end of the forecast period on Saturday, September 30th. Woo, BOA day. This is suggesting a potential pattern change here. Ridging in the east, troughing in the east, ridging in the west, and down below that we have a drier air mass with highs in the low 80s to maybe even the upper 70s in some spots. Let's check the European on this, and if this verifies, this would bring a lot of cool weather to the east and to the deep south. If this verified, so if you're looking for fall-like weather, well, here it is. You're just going to have to wait. You're just going to have to wait a while. But the numbers for the next 7 days, after today, we should trend a little bit cooler. We should trend a little bit cooler, but by Tuesday, 90s for North Texas should almost be non-existent for a while. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. I'll have more notes in the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can, catch your local TV stations on the air, 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Make it a great day, and Godspeed.